And welcome back to Cigar Time, your friendly neighborhood show all about premium cigars.
Yes, indeed.
Wednesday.
It's a show.
Etc.
Etc.
We're back for another fun-filled week. Split?
Yeah.
Split.
Yeah.
Etc.
Etc. Yes. So, welcome back, everyone. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Before we do anything else,
Yes.
I want to give a shout out to Little Vic 1981, who wrote into the show.
Okay.
Did you send a picture?
No, he did not. But he wanted some recommendations for cigars that have a serious nicotine hit, particularly Maduros. And he listed a few things that he's already smoked, like the Viva La Vida and the El Pulpo, Southern Draw, Jacob's Brimstone.
Jacob's Ladder, yeah, and Brimstone.
So he wants our opinions about a few high-power Maduros to smoke.
Jigger.
And I think they fall into two categories, fundamentally. Powerful Dominican Maduros and powerful Nicaraguan Maduros.
Okay.
In the Dominican arena, there's really, for strength, there's nothing that compares to La Flor. So I would say a La Flor Maduro Double Ajero in whatever size makes you happy is going to be about as strong of a Dominican cigar as you're going to find anywhere.
Yeah. And I would suggest in that line you think it's the most powerful cigar. Especially with an 8-foot cigar.
And if you want a commitment, that's not a cigar, that's a commitment.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's a big cigar.
So double. Is it an A size, I guess?
Yeah, it is.
I've been committed before. Yeah, right.
I should have been.
How about Nicaraguan?
Yeah, Nicaraguan powerful Maduros. It's a tougher call.
26.
26, yeah.
You mean the Padron,
Yeah.
1926. The AJ, which one am I thinking of? Not the Bellas Artis, the other one. Ramon Ionis
Mm-hmm.
is a pretty
Yeah.
powerful Maduro.
I thought you were going to say the other one. What's the name?
New World Puro.
The New World
Puro
Pure. That's not going
Especial.
to have full body, though.
No, it's, well,
It's a great
compared to
cigar.
some of the stuff he's smoked already, it's pretty full bodied.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, the Viva La Vida is pretty full body. The
Yeah,
El Popo.
the El Popo for sure.
Yeah.
The other Nicaraguan I would consider, and it's not over the top strong, but it's pretty strong and it's high nicotine, is the Jaime Garcia one.
Yeah, but that's not a Maduro, though.
But it looks like a Maduro.
Well,
And some of the stuff he listed is not a Maduro, like the AJ Cameron.
that's true. That's not.
Unless somebody has done something miraculous that
Yeah.
I've never seen, which is a Maduro Cameron.
Although that was something you would probably try.
I would.
It's too thin, but then you made it thicker.
I made a thicker one, but I never tried to make it Maduro, which would have been interesting. No, I spent 8 years. I spent 8 years trying to breed a thick, physically robust Cameroon wrapper. Because Cameroon is famously thin and fragile.
Yes.
And it took me 8 years. And basically, what I did in each growing season, of which there are 3 every year in Ecuador,
I'm with you.
is selective breeding, not genetic control or engineering, just selective breeding. So we planted a small area of Cameroon seed. We picked the plants that had the thickest leaves and let them go to flower, and planted those seeds and picked the ones that had the thickest leaves. And we did that 3 times a year for 8 years. And we came up with a nice, thick, really oily Cameroon wrapper, which went on a cigar called Lucky 8 that we made.
Mm-hmm.
But we never, that one would have been doable as a Maduro. Not a regular Cameroon, you'd never be able to ferment it enough to be a Maduro without damaging it.
One of our viewers is asking, what are we smoking so they could light up?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the
It's really
business
good.
at
I've
hand.
already lit up.
Today we're smoking the new CAO Fasa cigar,
Brand new.
brand new. Just came out at the show.
And the Fasa line is interesting in that it's got two different versions. It's got what they call the Noche, which is a Maduro.
Which is the one we're smoking right now.
Yes. And the Soul, which is a natural, I guess you would call it. The internal blend of both versions is exactly the same. That is a Cameroon binder and a combination of 4 leaves in the filler, 1 Dominican and 1 each from the 3 primary growing areas in Nicaragua. So that part is the same in both cigars. They didn't change the blend at all. The Noche has a Connecticut broadleaf Maduro wrapper, and the Soul has a fairly unusual Honduran wrapper that we've seen on a couple of cigars, but not many. It's called the Olancho San Agustin wrapper. Comes from the Olancho region in Honduras. And the cigars we've seen it on before, CAO about 12 years ago had a cigar called OSA,
Osa, yeah.
which stood for Olancho San Agustin.
Oh, I
'Cause
did not know that.
That was the first major commercial use of that wrapper. Also, Rocky Patel used it in one of the most oxymoronically named cigars in the industry, the Rocky Patel Super Forte,
Super Forte.
which is not Super Forte at all,
Not at all.
but it's tasty and it has that wrapper, that San Augustine wrapper.
Yeah.
Was that the?
The green and black.
It was out for like 3 minutes. Then I took it away.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
Super Forte.
Now maybe the lighting in here doesn't do it justice, but the wrapper on this is darker than others that I've seen. Because they had the one I'm thinking of has like a really, it's almost like it's like has a dusting of cocoa powder over it. It's that kind of
It's almost
texture
chocolate
and
looking. Yeah.
exactly. And it's
Toothy with a
gorgeous,
matte finish.
gorgeous, yes, gorgeous wrapper.
I want to give a shout out to Ryan Hannigan because he suggested to us to smoke the cigar today. So, if you have a suggestion of a cigar you want us to try on the show,
Go on
just
there,
let
Ryan.
us know.
Just
Well, I'm
email us.
waiting.
Yeah, just let us.
Ryan usually tunes in.
Yeah, just let us know. So thank you,
I'm
Ryan.
sorry.
Ryan was on the show.
Ryan is a real friend of the show.
He is. He's a good
And a friend of the store.
That is correct. He was on the show.
I wasn't here that day.
That's why he was on the show.
You talking about Ryan Hannigan?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was on the show.
I know.
I can't win today, guys. Of course.
Where?
It's always a joy watching Paul John live. So,
It is. Especially when it's a torch
There's a response I'm thinking of,
that he can't say.
but I
start with
won't.
a G.
No.
Oh, we can say
Shut.
that. We can say that on the air now.
I know.
Or this
The
is
decorum.
this is a family joint.
Yeah.
So you're asking if I live up to my old nickname,
Cerebral.
Cerebral Palsy.
Cerebral palsy.
That's great. That's great. So, one of the things that
I'm supposed to be offended when people call me that, but I think it's really funny.
you can't be offended when I call because you told me.
Yeah.
So, hey. One of the things I wanted to talk about is an email Rob sent to me last week about Minnesota.
Minnesota.
And
This is the
their,
dumbest thing I've ever heard.
so go ahead, because
No,
I
go
don't,
ahead.
no, I'm not talking about
I don't
it.
remember it.
You remember, it's on you.
They passed a law that it's a smoking
Wait, did
ban.
they pass the law or is it proposed?
It's a proposed law, or
But I don't
I
think
couldn't.
they
I
passed
couldn't
it.
really.
I think it's proposed.
The language in it was all distorted. So they have a law that you can smoke in cigar stores, but now they're only allowing you, or trying to only allow you to smoke during events, like as a tasting, and only for 15 minutes. So you can only smoke in the store. You can only go to a cigar store, smoke for 15 minutes, and then you have to leave. That's the
Can you come
dumbest
back
thing.
in?
Well, in New
You know what?
Jersey,
I never even thought of that.
in Jersey, that's a good point. In Jersey, they have a
You can't have a
tasting
smoking lounge, you can only have a tasting
tasting
room.
room.
yeah.
But nobody enforces that.
Exactly, and that's stupid. And as the first thing I thought of after reading this article, Rob, is that how do you enforce that?
I know, that's ridiculous.
But the point is just come on, man, just freaking ban tobacco already.
Just they don't do it.
Just come on.
Or ban smoking in indoors or in the lounge or something. You can't have it and then you can only do it for 15 minutes. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
The dumbest
Seriously,
what?
fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Seriously. It's ridiculous. You can only sit for 15 minutes and smoke a cigar.
I'm just tired of all these games of how, this is how we're going to get them. And come on, man.
They're gonna sneak
Every
up on
business
us.
person in the world will outsmart the government any day.
That's for sure.
I mean, look,
In their sleep.
Yeah.
it's just,
How can
it's
you,
frustrating.
So you go to your cigar store in Minnesota and you buy your cigar, you go into their lounge, you sit down, and you can only be there for 15 minutes.
So what did they do?
It was some woman who came up with this stupid
A soccer
Oh, there you
mom.
go.
half-assed-
A soccer mom for sure.
She has to be a soccer mom, the bane of my
What
existence.
was her name?
I don't remember. her.
Karen.
Probably Karen. Thank you.
I should be allowed to sit in any smoking lounge and smoke any cigar I want, no matter how big or how long it's going to take me to smoke, because it keeps the voices in my head quiet.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Trouble could happen.
It's not working.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And I've heard some stupid things.
You think
You've
that's,
said some stupid things.
yeah. You think that's dumber
I
than the
think that-
generational tobacco?
Wait a minute. I think the way they're
Yes.
dealing with this 15-minute thing is they have a meter maid walk through the
Yeah.
lounge and put a chalk mark on
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
And then she comes back 15 minutes later, and if you're
Yeah.
sitting there with a chalk mark, you gotta go.
What are they going to do? Give you a ticket? Seriously, that's asinine. Absolutely asinine.
Did you read that article I told you to read? About the appeal to the vacating the redeeming.
I did not. I didn't see that. When did you send that to me?
I told you about it. We talked about it like either last week or the week before.
Told me.
So New Hampshire is very happy with Massachusetts right now because they put through a menthol ban on cigarettes, and New Hampshire didn't.
And now
So everybody just comes over the border, and they estimated that Massachusetts lost something like $400 million in cigarette tax revenue.
That's how stupid these people are. They don't
In
realize.
tax revenue, that's almost bigger than our whole industry.
Cigarette tax revenue in one state
That's just how
is bigger than our
really
stupid
small
people
state.
are. They're losing all this money, and they're crying that they don't have any money, and now they're going to have to try to make that $400 million up some
And
other
they-
way, and they're just going to tax something else.
And they
or
didn't
invent
keep-
another tax.
And they didn't keep one person from smoking.
Exactly. It's so stupid. Politicians are the dumbest people to walk the face of the earth. Seriously.
No, they're really smart. They get paid to do almost nothing, and they get a lot of money for the rest of their lives for
Yeah, it's
doing
true.
almost nothing.
Yeah. Aggravating, man. Stupid shit they do.
You're right.
Oh my God.
Just here, look at them. You can only smoke for 15 minutes. We're saving your life.
Yeah.
So switch back to cigarettes.
Yeah.
You can smoke 3
Yeah.
in that 15
Yeah,
minutes.
right? Exactly.
Forgetting completely that a cigar is used differently or consumed differently than a cigarette,
Exactly.
and that most, what did I say? There's 120,000 people in the country who smoke cigars
Daily
Daily.
basis.
on a daily basis.
That's it.
It's a micro. It's
I'm trying to make up for the
tiny
slack.
percentage.
Yeah, me
Right.
too. I'm trying to make up for lost ground.
Yeah. Oh my God. Politicians they're just
Yeah, if you
assholes.
smoke 2 or fewer cigars a day, you're at statistically no increased risk of mortality cancer than if you didn't smoke cigars.
Exactly. And I'll give you one
I
guess.
think I think that's accurate. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure it's.
Well, I have the final word on research about mortality in cigar smoking. I've been smoking 12 cigars a day for now going on 50 years, and I'm still alive.
Yeah, there
I
you
rest
go.
my case.
Barely though.
I'll give you.
Barely.
I'll give you one guess on which side of the aisle she falls on.
I'm still alive.
Yeah.
You make this multiple choice.
Yeah.
Should we have initial comments? Are we deep enough into this?
Yeah.
cigar?
Yeah. I gotta.
We're
calm
deep
down.
enough.
Yeah. I
You
gotta.
gotta,
I gotta calm- I
yeah,
gotta
you
calm
gotta
down.
chill a
Moose,
little bit.
Moose, please. Tell
Have
me-
some rum
tell
or
us what you
something.
got.
When I first lit this up, I got an instant hit of like molasses,
Mhm.
and then that instantly almost stopped. Now it's got like a cocoa powder kind of flavor going on. It's probably just my cigar, but this is rolled really tight. I'm having a tough time.
Really?
Your ash is perfect, though.
Oh, it's well constructed. You know, it's just a little
You
tight.
got a great ash.
Yes. Well, thank you.
Hoo-ha.
Thank you, sweetie.
2 different movies. No, his movie.
So,
and his movie, 2 different movies.
I am enjoying it. It's got good flavor. There's a couple of other flavors going on I haven't quite put my finger on yet, but maybe as time, the time goes on, I'll figure that out. So far, so good.
Okay. Paul?
I got that blast of,
Molasses?
yeah, I was gonna say burnt brown sugar, but that's molasses, so. That flavor. It didn't back off immediately for me, but some other stuff came up under it. There's some more sweetness, a little tiny bit of pepper, but just a tiny bit.
It's from Nicaragua, and you know it's there.
And I'm wrestling with this cigar just because I almost never smoke a 60 ring cigar.
Yeah, this is a
And
big
today
cigar.
we're smoking 6x60s. Although it does
Are you
come in a
chewing the
twirl.
cigar too?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Destroy the end of that cigar.
Well, that's because I
That's how
don't
he
use a
cuts
cutter.
it.
He bites it off.
Yeah.
He always bites the end of his cigar.
I don't know. We've been doing this show for over 10 years.
And
I
I've
don't
been
know that he
doing it the
bites
same way. I nip the,
He never
I
cuts
nip
a
the
cigar.
cap. I don't cut it. I just
Never.
nip the cap.
I'm out of here.
And
I quit.
philosophically speaking,
I didn't know you were a lumberjack, and I didn't know you bit your cigar.
Yeah, we'll get into that later.
There's a whole bag.
That's a whole other song.
Yeah. All right, Scott.
What?
I'm sorry, were you done?
Yeah.
Okay, Scott.
I agree with my esteemed panelists so far.
If you can
Def-
find an esteemed.
Definitely the cocoa, and that's, you know, all the way to a half-inch in is continued. Although, does it seem to anybody else that this cigar seems like it burns really slow? Like this is going to be
Yeah.
like an hour and 45-minute cigar kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
It's
we're
just-
going to stay here until we finish that.
Not, you mean not 15 minutes?
You are.
Not 15
Yeah.
minutes.
But in addition to what you guys have mentioned, I'm also getting, and this is a theme of the last couple of weeks, is I get this, again, like a cool smoke, almost a little tiny hint of like the menthol we mentioned.
Really?
Just a little bit of, just a
A
touch,
hint of mint.
like right
Well,
in the center.
since most states are banning menthol cigarettes,
Yeah.
they have to get rid of that menthol flavoring somewhere.
Yes. you joke, but you know, that was one of the things they were talking about. I'm pretty sure at some point they would have had the deeming regulations not been vacated. I'm pretty sure we describe cigars as having
Mhm.
all
Yeah.
different flavors, so they're gonna be, oh, it's a flavored cigar. Look at what Perdomo had to change from
just
the
taste
natural
like-
to sun-grown. They had to change the name.
And Drew Estate had to change their
Laratans.
natural to
Laratans.
Laratans.
Which is, that might be my favorite thing in the whole cigar industry. 'Cause
natural backwards.
You can't eat, you look at it and you still think it says natural.
You mentally convert it
Yeah.
back to natural.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
What else? They did something else too.
What do
They
you guys-
changed names. They did the Muwat. The my Uzi weighs
My
a ton.
Uzi weighs a ton, and
Well,
they got
that's-
sued by
yeah, but
Uzi.
by Uzi, yeah, but that's not because of regulation.
Where do you guys get the
Yeah,
strength
it's-
of this?
Not very.
No, I maybe
2.5.
2.5,
When I first
3
started, I would
at
say it was
most.
about a 2.5, 2. Now it kicked up for a moment to 3, then
Maybe
slid
a
back
3.
down. 2.5
Yeah.
flirting with 3.
So it's
with you
moving
guys on this.
around,
Yeah.
this cigar.
Yeah.
Well,
It's not like a lot of cigars that are kind of static, the same thing all the way through, which doesn't make it a bad cigar. But this one's just kind of jumping around.
It's got a really, really white ash. Is that from the Cameroon? You said
Yeah.
Cameroon
binder,
binder, right?
Yeah.
Almost looks like or maybe the Dominicans. Maybe that's on the outside of the blend, and the Nicaraguans on the inside. You said there was some Dominican in this, right?
Yes. One leaf
One
of
leaf.
Dominican and 3 leaves
One
of
leaf.
Nicaraguan.
One leaf only. One pink only.
Smoke production
So,
is pretty
my,
good, but not over the top.
I'm getting a perfect draw from this.
Mhm.
Mine's not rolling as tight as yours, Moose. I'm getting a perfect draw on it. I'm getting a toasting note on
Mhm.
it. No, it's because it's a Maduro. I mean, you're going to get something like that.
You say that with every cigar.
That's not true. I didn't say it last week.
Yeah, dude.
I did not.
In his defense, it's every other cigar.
Exactly. Thank you.
But it's like me with cocoa. We
Yeah.
talked about this before. It
Yeah.
might be your
Yeah.
signature what you taste.
Yeah. I do get a hint of pepper, like you were saying.
Just
Paul.
a hint.
Yep.
I'm not getting any menthol or coolness like you are.
I didn't retrohale yet. How's that?
It's good. It's nice, and that's where I'm getting most of the toastiness from. That way.
This is definitely not a crema magica Maduro.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, you
I'm
can,
getting the sweetness you were talking about too. From the
You know,
if you look at the burn line on this cigar, you'll
Very
see
black.
that there's no moisture there. There's no wet spot
Yeah.
at the edge of the burn line. And when they use crema magica to make it darker,
Mhm.
you get a wet line of
Mhm.
basically melted Vaseline
Yeah.
right along the burn line.
so you know when they do wine tastings or when professionals are sampling wine, they have I think they have their own form of a retrohale. They slurp the wine and they exactly
Yeah.
Sip,
they get
suck, swish, swallow.
and they get the
Spit.
They get that air in it. And I was watching this thing on winemaking yesterday, and there's this guy in Napa Valley who he's a wine consultant, and he was explaining why they do that, and it was exactly the same reason that we do a retrohale. It's just because most of your sense of taste is in your nose or
Yeah. Olfactory.
thank you. I couldn't think of that. I couldn't think of olfactory.
Olfactory.
Yeah.
Gotta
But
go-
it's just nice
you
to
gotta go
confirm all the
Detroit.
confirm that the stuff that we talk about may actually be true, because
What a shock!
there's an expert out there who's
You agree
Who
with us?
agrees
Yeah.
with us? God help us all.
Yeah. So white kind of might not know what we're doing.
I just make it up as we go.
It's more fun
Well,
that way.
I described it as cigars having a new car smell. So
That's true. And I get
I have
chicken.
never
I get
experienced
chicken soup sometimes.
You're both nuts.
every time I do it, I call Paul and tell him.
Sorry,
I got chicken
I've
soup.
never
I got
made
chicken
nor
soup.
eaten a soup, a chicken soup that tastes like a cigar.
I get-
so
Or
why-
vice versa.
Or why would
Well,
a cigar taste like
they-
chicken soup?
this one winemaker, Vintner, was describing, and there's a lot of descriptions for wine.
Far more
that-
than cigars. Yeah.
Well, they're a lot of the flavors and stuff they just use to describe closely match cigars. But she was talking about had tobacco leaf, and even went as far as to say tobacco box, which I think she meant cedar.
Cedar.
Yeah.
Non-aromatic cedar.
Yeah. Well, yes.
That's a very distinctive flavor.
And they also say what we always say is if you're tasting it and you taste cedar or pepper or whatever kitchen soap, that's what if you
Yeah.
taste it, then you taste it. That's just
It's your palate.
And we say that with cigars. It's
I've
because how many times have we'll smoke something? I mean, we agree generally, but
Yeah, we'll,
There are specifics where
Yeah.
we don't agree.
absolutely.
yeah, I mean, there's times in each one of us had something totally different.
Yeah.
And then
And-
there's some times that we've all said the same thing.
Right.
And on general principle, you never like to agree with Scott.
That's
So.
true. I've tasted dish soap or
Dish soap in a cigar?
Or,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
kitchen soap.
I
Absolutely.
know
Cuban.
exactly which one
Absolutely.
too.
I think Cuban cigars taste like that.
Yeah.
I think Grand Habano number 5 tastes like that.
No, it doesn't.
I don't like that cigar.
I hate that cigar.
But the whole point is,
Don't say that. We have a lot of them.
is you like what you like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just this is just what we get.
That's our opinion.
And we're
This
my
puts it-
palate's by no means
Yeah,
like
opinions
in
are
the
bad.
top 50% of the
Yeah,
country.
everybody's got one.
Yeah. This puts out a ton of smoke.
It does,
Not like-
but
not
but
like
not
last
at the
week.
crazy level of.
Not
And
2 weeks
as
ago.
a
yeah.
testament to the actual construction of this.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's nice.
That's
yeah, look
not-
how white
that's-
that is. You're right.
It's white and it's holding up. It's not like
It's not
bleeding.
flaking or
It's
anything.
Am I
not
actually seeing
flaking.
the vein of the
Yeah.
the
in-
leaf in
yeah,
it?
in the,
Yeah, a
in the
little
ash.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
The,
thought-
the best thing that I like to see in an ash is when there are little white dots
Mhm.
in the ash. Because that's basically left over from tooth.
Oh yeah.
Tooth is just a, to me.
Leftover teeth.
Yeah, I have a few of those.
They're chicken teeth.
Cameroon has a lot of that.
Toothiness?
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just
in the
that,
ash.
Toothy, for those of you that don't know, are those little bumps that appear all over the surface of some wrapper leaves. And they are tiny little concentrated pockets of the oil that gives the cigar its flavor.
Yeah.
So when you get tooth, and especially when you see tooth left over in the ash, you're getting some extra flavor.
Nothing like getting some good tooth
Stop it.
in your cigar.
Oh, I know what you mean. So let's
No,
talk.
it's better. It's better when they take their teeth out first.
I think we should talk about Paul being a lumberjack.
All right.
I'm okay.
Sleep all night.
Right.
You work all
Work
day.
all day. Wear women's clothes. No, I don't.
Chris, have you ever heard that?
What?
The lumberjack song?
Yeah.
Okay. Just test it.
Why is that Three Stooges?
I used to
Is
be
that
a
Three
lumberjack.
Stooges famous or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
You don't know
He
anything about
informed
the
us
Three Stooges.
today.
Right.
I just want to see if
He
you know
informed
anything
us
about
today
Monty
that he was a
Python.
lumberjack.
Yes, I do like Monty Python.
Okay.
I lived in Vermont for a year. I worked as a lumberjack way up in northern Vermont near the Canadian border. And it was a blast. My job was to climb up the tree with spikes on my boots, climb all the way up the tree, cut off the top, which they call topping off, and then work my way back down the tree, cutting branches as I went, so that by the time I hit the ground, the tree was just bare. It was a tree. And then someone else would cut it down. We had horses, because we did the whole sawmill in the woods at the lumber camp. So the horses would drag the trees over to the area where we would saw them, put them up on saw horses, and use a thing called an Alaskan chainsaw mill, which is basically a sawmill for cutting boards, but it's for doing it out in the field, not in a sawmill.
Right.
And the way they do that is they have a 6-foot-long chainsaw that sits on rollers. And you set the rollers for how thick you want your boards to be. And then you pull that chainsaw through the entire length of the tree, which is anywhere from 100 to 200 feet.
I think Home Depot used to buy those. Because you know how their 2x4s are all over the place. It's Paul.
Well, no, the rollers fixed that for me, so that wasn't an issue.
Sorry.
So how long did you do this job?
A year.
How long?
But we didn't
Like
s-
18, 19?
16.
What'd you say?
I was 16.
I thought you said 60. I'm like, stop.
Yeah, 7 years ago I did that.
All right, good. Well, hey, you were.
But we didn't sell any of that lumber because we were working
I don't care.
over that whole year on a project to build houses for homeless people in the mountains in
now
Vermont.
I do. See, now I do care.
And the families that we built the houses for were living in cardboard refrigerator boxes, like 4 or 5 of them painted with tar around the fire pit. And that was how they lived. So we built houses for them, and the way we did it was we worked the lumber camp and got to keep the lumber, so we could do the framing and everything. We put up forms for a foundation company that pours the cement into the forms. And in exchange for doing that labor, we got free foundations poured. We demolished an abandoned army base that was all built out of brick. And we did it with sledgehammers and saved all the bricks. So we were able to build 12 houses. For
That's
families.
awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it
So
was,
they got rid of their homeless problem?
it helped.
I'm sure it did.
It's interesting, you don't think of Vermont as having hillbillies, but up in the mountains of Vermont, you get lots of inbred, uneducated, toothless people living in cardboard boxes.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Well, no, but they like having houses a whole lot better.
Okay, I'm sure they do. As we all do.
This was kind of like Habitat for Humanity before it was invented.
Before Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
came around. Right. Okay, that's cool.
One of my many unusual career choices.
I volunteered for Habitat for Humanity for a while.
A
Yeah,
day.
it was a company I worked with, partnered with them, and was in the city somewhere, and did it a couple times.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I was different back then, I cared.
Moose, what would you
Before you
drink
go-
with this cigar?
Yeah. That's my next question. That's true.
Kings County bourbon.
Kings
County
Kings County
Absolutely.
bourbon.
from Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely bourbon is the right drink because of the slight sweetness of the corn and the slight spiciness of however much rye they use.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree, bourbon. Which one?
You can't go wrong.
1792 full proof, 125 proof.
You shot.
Cast strength, I guess.
It's cast strength, but it's very, very smooth. And I
It's
think
hard. That's hard to get a smooth cast strength.
yes, it is. So it punches way, well, it drinks way below its proof,
Mm-hmm.
but you feel it after you drink.
When you stand up.
If you stand up.
That's cool.
Little guys will be standing behind you when you go to stand up. We will not when they don't fall down.
Well, this weevil falls down.
Coke.
True.
There's exceptions to every rule.
Bye.
Diet Pepsi, or, now, I would, I think you might, a good coffee.
Black cherry
Cafe
wish.
au lait.
You know what? Actually, no joke. Black cherry wishniak
Mm.
would go really well with this cigar. It's a Philadelphia classic kind of soda.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's
Nice.
it's Polish in origin. That's why it's called Wishniak. And a Wishniak historically was an alcoholic beverage. It was basically black cherry soda with vodka in it.
Actually, that sounds pretty good.
So eventually, some Polish guy in Philadelphia made a Wishniak soda without the vodka. And it was pretty popular as a Philly thing.
Because
And then
Frank's,
Canada Dry bought them.
Yeah, it's Frank's.
Frank's,
It was Frank's. Now it's part of Canada Dry. But they
Frank's?
still have the
Nice.
Wishniak.
But that sounds good. Black cherry
Black
soda
cherry
with
soda
vodka.
with vodka?
Yeah.
What could be bad?
No, nothing.
Not
Sounds
gin.
delicious.
Slow
No,
gin.
no gin.
Slow gin.
No gin.
Slow gin.
No.
Have you ever had slow gin?
Yes.
Yeah, that's sweet.
No gin.
It's too sweet for me.
It bears almost no relationship to gin at all.
It's kind of, yeah, not, and I had way too much of it one New Year's Eve.
No gin.
Any gin is too much gin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
First time I ever consumed alcohol was gin.
Was it?
Yeah, we had one giant bottle of gin and one bottle of tonic. Guess which ran out first?
The tonic.
The gin.
The tonic. And then we were just doing gin.
Ugh.
Do you know the historical significance of gin and tonic?
No.
No. Can you tell us?
Yes. When the British controlled India in the 1800s, malaria was a big issue for the British Army. And the only treatment they had back then for malaria was quinine. But quinine tastes awful. It's bitter, it's sharp. So they had to come up with a way to get the British soldiers to consume quinine.
God, gin was their solution?
Yep,
Ugh.
gin and quinine
Jeez,
water.
that quinine
which
had to be
became-
some pretty bad then.
But it
Yeah,
was,
Gin's foul.
it was mandated for the British soldiers in the Raj, which is what they called the British soldiers that controlled India. It was mandatory to have a gin and tonic every night at sunset as a treatment for potential malaria.
Oh. They had tonic.
And the only thing I like
How
about
about
that
tonic?
whole thing is the idea of having a drink at sunset every
Yeah,
night.
right. Well, there's all kinds of tonics back in the 1800s.
It's probably not the kind of tonic we're thinking of now.
No, quinine water is the kind of tonic you're thinking of now.
That's so
No, you won't. Upcoming events.
funny. Yeah.
Thursday.
What's today?
Today's Wednesday.
Wednesday. Tomorrow in, no wait a minute.
Friday.
Friday in Downingtown, they're doing the Almost Cinco de Mayo event, and you can meet Gus and Billy from Viva La Vida, who are
Yes.
awesome.
Really
Great.
cool
I,
guys.
hope
Great
they,
guys.
I actually hope I hope they swing by. And then on Saturday in Oxford Valley, they're doing a May the Fourth Be With You
Yeah.
event with some coffee company.
Covered Bridge.
Coffee. And there's some other stuff.
And there will be, I don't know what date yet, but sometime in May on a Wednesday, there's going to be an Esteban Carrera event here in Horsham. And we'll be announcing the date.
Okay. Oh, well, we're at the 16th. There's a AJ event in, what's this called? Colma with Laurel Tilley.
Oh, Laura would be nice.
Laurel will be here. She's the brand ambassador for AJ Fernandez.
I didn't know she went over the age.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out of
2
date.
years ago.
Yeah,
I'm
almost
out
2
of
years
date.
ago.
Yeah.
I'm still
Try
looking
not to
at
call her.
older pictures of her.
She still looks good.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, she used to be with Macanita. Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard for me not to call her Laurel.
Yeah.
But she's AJ Laurel now.
Yes.
Thursday,
She's cool.
Thursday's Downingtown event is a dual event also. They're having AJ there.
Oh, I thought that was a mistake.
No.
No, AJ and
AJ and
Viva.
Viva.
Oh, okay.
What was it? Buy 4, get 1 free, I think, something like that.
Oh, it's back to you.
I thought it would get one free.
I don't know. Just like- oh, you know what? There you go.
Yeah, on the back.
Forgot that was there.
Buy 4, get 1 on all AJ.
So it's buy 4, get 1 on all AJ.
Oh, they're having a free taco bar.
They're having a free taco bar. Oh, in Viva La Vida, buy any 10, get 3 free. Buy 20, get 6.
Wow.
SWAG raffles of ashtrays, lighters.
SWAG?
Yes.
You mean swag?
Yeah. Swag. Plus event only collector's coins.
Wow.
Oh, and they're having a free taco bar for the Viva La Vida too.
Well, if it's for AJ, then
You know what? I'm
same
surprised
event.
with all of the food trucks that have become a phenomenon in the United States. A lot of them are taco trucks, but you don't see tamale trucks. And if you go to Mexico, tamale is the real street food,
Funny that I know exactly what you're talking about.
not tacos. Street food in Mexico is usually tamales.
Really?
And fish tamales are about
What's
as good as it gets.
What's the difference?
There's no
Tamales-
difference in any Mexican food. It's all
First of all,
cheese,
it's
flour,
it's a
meat.
soft tortilla, and it's wrapped in a banana leaf and baked in the banana leaf.
So you eat the banana leaf?
No, you unwrap it and then you eat it.
Okay.
You don't eat the leaf.
Huh.
It's kind of like a yagua. You know
Okay,
the palm
I
leaves
do.
that they age tobacco?
I do.
Speaking of bananas, did you know that they only, like, apes, monkeys, gorillas only eat those in captivity? They don't eat them in the wild. Is that,
There's no fiber in them, and apes need a lot of fiber,
So why don't they eat them in the wild?
evidently
because there's
they're,
no fiber.
I think bananas are pretty much domesticated. I don't think they grow in the wild.
100 years ago, no one in America even knew what a banana was.
How about peaches? Did they not?
Yeah, I think they knew about peaches and apples a long time ago.
Plums?
Probably.
Kiwis?
Kumquats?
Kiwi-
Starfruit? Dragon fruit?
No. Most of the exotic fruits are fairly
Big
new
eggs.
to the U.S. Interestingly, there is a worldwide banana shortage
Is
right
there?
now, and it's because there's some strange breed of fungus that's been killing the bananas in
Uh-oh.
most of the big banana countries.
It's the
But-
fungus among us.
There is a fungus among us. However, Ecuador so far has avoided the fungus, and that is the biggest export from Ecuador,
Good for
is
them.
bananas.
Bananas?
So you're saying
Banana.
George Washington never ate a banana?
No, definitely not.
If he did, he'd still probably have his teeth.
Yeah, exactly. It would have been good for his wooden teeth.
And
Franklin?
like a lot of fruits and
Franklin.
vegetables, they originally came from South America, and they came from Peru actually. And the original bananas were only about
Small.
that big,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I
they
knew that.
they bred them for the American market because bananas are mostly an American phenomenon.
I like bananas.
And most people open them incorrectly.
You mean peel them?
Peel them incorrectly. Yes, that's what I mean.
The best way I have ever eaten a banana, you cut it in half the long way.
And that ice cream?
Nope.
That's the best way
You
to do
drizzle a
that.
little bit of molasses and a little bit of rum over the open side of the banana, and you lay them skin side down on the barbecue. And the skin turns black. The banana itself and the rum and the molasses turn to almost liquid, almost like caramel in
Mhm.
texture.
Yeah.
And then you eat it with a spoon right out of the skin.
So it's kind of like bananas foster.
Kind of like. But
It's
you
one
get
of my
that.
favorite desserts.
You get that smoky flavor from the barbecue. It's really a great
So
combination.
now I gotta try that.
And it's easy. Takes 5
I've
minutes.
Yeah.
had that at Brennan's in New Orleans.
Bananas Foster.
It's amazing.
That's named after Foster Brooks, isn't it?
No, no, not at all.
Who never who didn't
It's
drink?
Australian. It's Australian. After the beer.
Yeah, I don't
So
think
what do you put on it? You put
Molasses and
molasses
rum.
and rum.
Dark
Okay.
rum. Not spiced rum, but dark rum.
Okay. Or
And just a little bit.
HUM or RUM?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's going to be good either way.
Okay. That's one thing. All right, let's go to final thoughts. Anything else? I'm sorry. Anything else? Yeah. You got nothing? Yeah. All right. Moose, let's get final thoughts and your number.
I still get the cocoa, but it's backed off, and I'm getting a little more of the pepper that you mentioned earlier. Just mild, just very, very faint. It's not, overpowering. It's still burning well. It's well constructed.
Yeah.
I'm getting a better draw out of it, so I think I just had a spot in there. I give it a 9 too.
9.2.
Yeah.
Okay. Paul.
I enjoyed the flavors right up until about the halfway point, and then they all seemed to run away altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So, or at least they muddied up, so you can't distinguish any particular flavor anymore. I love the draw. I hate the size. But I can't hold that against the blend. I give it an 8, Lemon.
Okay. Scott.
Cocoa, menthol went away. Agree with the pepper. I'll give it a 9. I like the cigar. I hate to agree with me, but give it a 9.01.
Everybody else hates to agree with you too.
Yeah, I'm not the only one. I agree. I don't get any menthol in this at all, like you got. I'm getting the cocoa. The retro hail is very, very pleasant. I like the retro hail. I'm getting all the same, basically all the same notes that you guys are getting, except for that I also get still get a toastiness out of it. The first one. So I don't like the size. I just don't like 6x60s. I probably would like the Toro size better, right?
Mhm.
It comes in a Toro.
Mm-hmm.
I probably like the Toro size better, but I also do this in a 9.
Have you guys all smoked the Soul?
I am not.
I have.
Which do you like better?
I like this much better.
I go back and forth. Like I originally liked the
We
Soul
should
better.
smoke the Soul next
We
week.
can do that.
Okay. All right.
We can do
Compare
that.
and contrast.
For another
Yeah.
time.
And
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
since it is essentially the same cigar with a different wrapper,
It'll be interesting.
it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to compare.
I may suggest we do a smaller size.
Like a Toro.
Please.
I mean, Moose can have his 6x60.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting actually to get the 6x60, but Mike grabbed them.
Yeah.
Probably because we had more of them.
I believe in the Maduro we only have the 6x60 here.
Yeah, and I I just do that in the conversation because that's would be expected of me.
I think the Soul we have in both.
I'm sorry.
In Toro and 6x60.
All right. That's good. So next week, we want to stop in, get some souls.
CAO
Fasa-
Fasa. Now, there's
Soul.
something that I did not look up. What does Fasa mean?
Oh. Shoot. I did
Short
I
for
forget.
Blue Faucet.
I did look
No,
it up,
that's
but I
the
can't
Circle of
remember.
Life cigar.
So-
The big one is called the
Freedom
Blue
Association.
Fasa.
Yeah, I know. So they could use that, so they just short the liquor faucet.
No, that's FAFSA. We don't want that.
Soccer.
FAFSA. Say that if you can. FAFSA is the financial aid program for students. You have to file a FAFSA.
Oh, yeah.
FAFSA.
Phosphor.
FAFSA. FAFSA. FAFSA.
Phosphor.
What is
I had to do that
Fasa?
for the girls.
No, see, you try to,
We'll have that
Google
next.
Fasa.
We'll have that next week for you.
yeah, we'll
Yeah,
have
Paul will
that.
remember.
Yeah. So thanks for watching, and
Chop
I guess we'll
We'll
see you.
see you
I
next
guess we'll see
week.
you next week.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Ciao for
Smoke
now,
often,
everybody.
smoke happy, smoke FAFSA.
Life's too short to smoke cheap cigars.
You got it right.
That's like 3 away.